The ocean is vast, ancient, and largely unexplored. More than 80% of it remains uncharted, hiding mysteries we may never fully uncover. While science has brought us submarines, sonar, and deep-sea cameras, there are still creatures in the depths that defy explanation. Some have been witnessed by sailors, others caught on rare footage, and a few washed up on distant shores, leaving scientists puzzled. These are not just the monsters of myth, but real physical beings whose existence challenges our understanding of marine biology. Welcome to the shadowy world of creatures from the deep that science refuses to explain. The oarfish, the legendary messenger of the sea. One of the most extraordinary creatures ever documented is the oarfish. This serpent-like fish can grow to more than 30 feet in length, making it the longest bony fish known to man. Its shimmering silver body and bright red crest give it an almost mythical appearance, and it is often associated with legends of sea serpents. The oarfish rarely comes near the surface, preferring the dark depths thousands of feet below. When they do appear, it is usually because they are sick, dying, or have been forced upward by seismic activity. In Japanese folklore, sightings of oarfish are said to foretell earthquakes or tsunamis. What puzzles scientists most is how little we truly know about the oarfish. Despite its enormous size, its behavior, diet, and reproductive patterns remain mysteries. They are so elusive that much of what we know comes from stranded carcasses rather than direct observation. The oarfish is a reminder that creatures that seem legendary may be very real and yet still resist explanation. The giant squid. From myth to reality. For centuries, tales of enormous tentacled monsters pulling ships beneath the waves filled sailors with dread. These stories describe the Kraken, an immense cephalopod lurking in the ocean's depths. Many dismissed the Kraken as myth, until the discovery of the giant squid proved that truth can be stranger than fiction. The giant squid can reach lengths of 40 feet or more, with eyes as large as dinner plates. They dwell at great depths, making them nearly impossible to study alive. Most of what we know comes from carcasses washed ashore or brought up in fishing nets. In 2004, Japanese scientists captured the first photographs of a living giant squid in its natural habitat. Later, in 2012, video footage confirmed their existence beyond doubt. Still, mysteries remain. How do they hunt? Do they use stealth or speed? How many exist in the oceans, and could even larger specimens be out there, hidden from human eyes? For every answer science uncovers, more questions arise. The giant squid reminds us that ancient sailor tales may not have been exaggerations after all. The bloop, a sound without a source. In 1997, underwater microphones belonging to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, recorded a mysterious ultra-low sound in the Pacific Ocean. The sound, nicknamed the bloop, was so loud it was detected by sensors more than 3,000 miles apart. At first, scientists speculated that it might be caused by a massive animal, larger than any known to science. Its acoustic signature was similar to that of a living creature, but far more powerful. Theories spread rapidly, from giant squids to unknown leviathans lurking in the deep. Later studies suggested that the sound might have been caused by ice quakes, massive icebergs cracking and shifting. But many remain unconvinced. The sound was unlike any recorded before or since, and no definitive source has ever been proven. The bloop remains one of the most haunting mysteries of the ocean, a colossal sound in the depths with no visible source, reminding us how little we truly know about what dwells in the abyss. The frilled shark, a living fossil. When fishermen off the coast of Japan pulled up a strange, eel-like shark in 2007, they were stunned. With rows of needle-like teeth and a body shaped like a serpent, it looked more like a prehistoric creature than a modern shark. The frilled shark is sometimes called a living fossil, as its lineage stretches back more than 80 million years. It lives deep in the ocean, often at depths of 4,000 feet, making sightings rare. Its flexible body and terrifying mouth filled with 300 teeth arranged in multiple rows give it a nightmarish appearance. What scientists cannot explain is how this creature has survived virtually unchanged for millions of years. and why it remains hidden in the depths. Its biology is poorly understood, and it represents a reminder that some species from Earth's distant past may still be alive in the darkest parts of the ocean. The trunco, a strange carcass from the deep. In 1924, witnesses along the coast of South Africa reported a bizarre battle between two killer whales and a gigantic furry white sea creature. The beast was described as having the body of a fish, but covered in white hair, with a trunk-like appendage. After the battle, its carcass washed ashore, where it was examined by locals but never properly studied by scientists. Newspapers dubbed it trunco, and photographs eventually surfaced decades later. To this day, experts debate what it was. Some suggest it might have been the decomposed remains of a whale whose tissues had taken on a strange appearance. Others argue it was something completely unknown, a cryptid of the sea that we may never see again. Trunco highlights the difficulty of explaining creatures that appear suddenly and vanish just as quickly. Without physical evidence preserved, the mystery lingers, fueling speculation of undiscovered species roaming the depths. The colossal squid, bigger and stranger than we imagined. If the giant squid is awe-inspiring, then the colossal squid takes the mystery even further. First captured in 2007 by New Zealand fishermen, the colossal squid is larger and heavier than its giant cousin, with unique swiveling hooks on its tentacles that make it a fearsome predator. Specimens suggest they can reach weights of more than 1,000 pounds, and their biology differs significantly from that of the giant squid. Their eyes, the largest of any animal known, may allow them to see in near total darkness. Yet despite their size, we know almost nothing about how they live, hunt, or reproduce. Are there even larger colossal squids lurking in the depths? Are these the true creatures behind ancient tales of sea monsters dragging ships into the abyss? Until more are studied alive, science can only speculate. The goblin shark. The deep sea phantom. Few creatures look as alien as the goblin shark. With its protruding snout, translucent pink skin, and jaws that extend outward like a spring-loaded trap, it seems more like a creature from science fiction than reality. This rare species dwells in deep waters, sometimes more than 4,000 feet below the surface. It is seldom seen by humans, and most of what we know comes from chance captures. The goblin shark's bizarre appearance has earned it the nickname living fossil, as it belongs to an ancient lineage. Why does it have such a unique jaw mechanism? How does it navigate the lightless depths? These questions remain largely unanswered, keeping the goblin shark firmly in the category of unexplained marvels of evolution. From the serpent-like oarfish to the bizarre goblin shark, from unexplained sounds in the deep to colossal squids beyond imagination, these creatures remind us that the ocean is still a realm of mysteries. Science can catalog, name, and theorize, but it cannot yet explain everything lurking below. The deeper we look, the more we realize how little we know. And if these are the creatures we have managed to glimpse, what else might be waiting in the unfathomable darkness of the ocean trenches? The sea serpents of history, myth or misidentified giants. Throughout history, sailors have reported terrifying encounters with long, snake-like creatures slithering across the surface of the ocean. From Norse sagas describing the Midgard serpent to reports by European explorers in the 16th and 17th centuries, sea serpents have haunted human imagination for centuries. Skeptics argue that many of these sightings could have been misidentifications of known creatures, such as giant eels, whales, or even oarfish, but others point to accounts that describe features unlike any recognized species. Serpents with dragon-like heads, fins that span the horizon, or movements too smooth for any whale. One famous sighting occurred in 1848, when officers aboard the HMS Daedalus reported seeing a creature estimated to be over 60 feet long off the coast of Africa. The officers described a serpent-like neck rising out of the water. Their credibility has fueled debate for centuries. Science has no definitive answer. Were these sailors exaggerating, mistaking something mundane for the extraordinary? Or did they truly glimpse a creature still unknown to us? The Mariana Trench, a pit of living mysteries. At nearly 7 miles deep, the Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean and perhaps the greatest vault of unexplained life on Earth. With crushing pressure, freezing temperatures, and total darkness, it is one of the most hostile environments known. Yet life persists there, often in forms that defy comprehension. When explorers sent submersibles to the trench, they discovered alien-like creatures, amphipods the size of small rats, translucent snailfish that can withstand unimaginable pressure, and strange gelatinous beings with bioluminescent organs. In 2016, a mysterious sound nicknamed the Western Pacific Biotwang was recorded in the trench. Lasting several seconds, the sound baffled scientists. Some speculated it was a whale, but its structure was unlike any known call. Others wondered if it might belong to an undiscovered species. The Mariana Trench holds countless secrets, many of which we may never uncover. If life thrives in conditions harsher than anywhere else on Earth, what unimaginable creatures could still be hiding in its depths? The Montauk Monster. From shore to legend. In 2008, a strange carcass washed ashore near Montauk, New York. It had leathery skin, sharp teeth, and an odd beak-like snout. The creature sparked a media frenzy, quickly being dubbed the Montauk Monster. Some claimed it was a raccoon in an advanced state of decay. Others suspected it was an escaped experiment from a nearby animal testing facility. Still, the body vanished before thorough scientific study could be conducted. Photographs remain, but debate continues. Was it simply a known animal distorted by decomposition, or was it something we had never seen before? The Montauk Monster remains an urban legend of the sea, a reminder that sometimes the strangest discoveries come not from the depths, but from what the ocean leaves on our shores. Bioluminescent beings, the lights of the deep. One of the most hauntingly beautiful mysteries of the ocean is the phenomenon of bioluminescence. Thousands of deep-sea creatures emit their own light, using it to hunt, communicate, or camouflage. But some sightings go far beyond what science can neatly explain. Fishermen and submariners have reported entire patches of ocean glowing for miles, as though lit from beneath by an unseen hand. In 2005, the crew of a British vessel reported sailing through a glowing sea so bright it looked like daylight beneath the waves. Some bioluminescent bacteria can create glowing waters, but the scale of these events defies explanation. Could there be colossal organisms or swarms of unknown creatures responsible for these massive light shows? Until we can study these phenomena in detail, glowing oceans remain one of the most magical and puzzling mysteries science has yet to solve. The globsters, monsters, without bones. All over the world, strange, boneless carcasses have washed ashore, baffling scientists and sparking speculation. These entities are called globsters. Unlike normal whale carcasses, globsters often lack bones, display unusual textures, and sometimes even appear hairy or fibrous. Famous globsters include the St. Augustine monster of 1896 in Florida and the Tasmanian globster of 1960. Some scientists argue they are the decomposed remains of whales, with tissues altered by seawater. But others note that certain globsters have structures unlike any known animal, suggesting they may be remnants of unidentified species. Globsters remind us that the ocean occasionally offers fragments of its hidden life, but rarely the full picture. Without complete specimens, these strange finds remain locked in mystery. The deep-sea anglerfish, a nightmare with a lantern. The anglerfish may be one of the most alien-looking creatures ever discovered. With grotesque, tooth-filled mouths and glowing lures dangling from their heads, they dwell in the abyss where no sunlight penetrates. What puzzles scientists most is their bizarre method of reproduction. Males are tiny compared to females. When a male finds a female, he latches onto her body, eventually fusing into her flesh and becoming little more than a set of reproductive organs. This extreme adaptation is unlike anything else in the animal kingdom. While anglerfish have been studied, they are nearly impossible to keep alive outside their natural habitat, leaving much about their biology unknown. Their ghastly appearance and bizarre lifestyle make them living reminders of how strange deep-sea evolution can become. The black dragonfish, a creature of darkness. Another mysterious inhabitant of the deep is the black dragonfish. This terrifying predator has needle-like teeth and an elongated body covered in pitch-black scales. Females grow up to 2 feet long, while males remain tiny and lack functional mouths. What makes the black dragonfish especially fascinating is its ability to produce both visible and invisible light. It can emit red bioluminescence, rare in the deep ocean, allowing it to hunt with a light invisible to most prey. How the dragonfish developed this ability is not fully understood. Its unique evolutionary path challenges our understanding of survival in the abyss, and it may hold secrets about other species yet unseen. The Cadborosaurus, the Pacific sea serpent. Off the coasts of British Columbia and Alaska, fishermen and sailors have long spoken of a serpent-like creature called Cadborosaurus, or caddy. Descriptions depict a long, horse-like head, a serpentine body, and undulating movements across the water. In 1937, whalers claimed to have pulled a carcass of the creature from a sperm whale's stomach. Photographs were taken but later lost, adding fuel to the mystery. Over the decades, dozens of sightings have been reported, but no definitive evidence has surfaced. Skeptics suggest misidentified oarfish or basking sharks, but believers argue that so many consistent descriptions across generations suggest something more. Could Cadborosaurus be a relic species from Earth's distant past, surviving in the vast, little-traveled waters of the North Pacific? Science has no answer, and so caddy remains a legend straddling the line between cryptid and reality. The alien jellyfish of the deep. In 2016, researchers using a remotely operated vehicle in the Mariana Trench stumbled upon a jellyfish unlike anything ever seen before. Its transparent bell glowed with vivid red and yellow colors, and its tentacles extended in perfect symmetry. This alien-like jellyfish seemed almost mechanical in its movements, leading scientists to marvel at its design. To this day, its behavior and full classification remain unclear. The deep ocean is filled with bizarre jellyfish species, many of which defy categorization. Their delicate, otherworldly beauty is matched only by their mystery. Are these creatures simple drifters, or do they play complex roles in ecosystems we have yet to understand? From globsters that wash up on our shores, to glowing seas stretching to the horizon, to serpents and alien-like jellyfish, the mysteries of the ocean grow deeper with every discovery. Some creatures challenge our sense of biology, while others tease us with fleeting appearances before vanishing back into the abyss. Science is only beginning to scratch the surface of what lurks beneath. Each unexplained creature is not just a puzzle, but a doorway to an oceanic world we barely comprehend. The Kraken. From sailors' terrors to scientific puzzles. For centuries, sailors feared an enormous beast that could drag entire ships beneath the waves. The Kraken. Descriptions spoke of tentacles stretching high into the air, eyes the size of windows, and strength unmatched by anything known to humankind. Many dismissed the Kraken as myth, but in the 19th century, evidence began to emerge. Sailors pulled up enormous squid beaks from the stomachs of whales, scars from massive suction cups were found on whale skin, and strange tentacles occasionally washed ashore. Today we know the giant squid exists, and its even larger cousin, the colossal squid, lurks in Antarctic waters. But even with modern science, these creatures remain elusive. Very few have ever been seen alive in their natural habitat. Their maximum size, behavior, and population remain mysteries. So was the Kraken merely a myth? Or is it possible that even larger cephalopods, beyond the colossal squid, still exist in the unexplored ocean depths? Until we find answers, the Kraken straddles the line between legend and terrifying possibility. The Bloop, a sound from the abyss. In 1997, hydrophones deep in the Pacific Ocean picked up a sound so loud it could be heard across thousands of miles. Scientists nicknamed it the Bloop. At first, some speculated it might be an unknown marine animal, larger than anything ever recorded. The sound structure resembled that of a biological source, but its volume was beyond any known creature. Later, some researchers suggested the noise might have been caused by icebergs breaking apart. Yet, the explanation remains debated, as the acoustic profile still shares similarities with marine life. The Bloop is a reminder that sound travels far in the ocean, and that we might occasionally hear creatures we have never seen. Whether it was ice or an unknown leviathan, The mystery continues to haunt oceanographers and enthusiasts alike. The phantom sharks. Ghosts of the deep sharks are some of the most studied creatures on Earth, but the deep sea hides relatives that seem to come from nightmares. Known as ghost sharks or chimeras, these ancient creatures are rarely encountered. Their translucent skin, eerie eyes, and wing-like fins give them an alien appearance. They are distant relatives of sharks and rays, yet they represent a line of evolution that diverged over 400 million years ago. What makes ghost sharks particularly mysterious is how little we know about them. Only a handful of species have ever been observed alive, and most were discovered by accident. Their reproduction, lifespan, and ecological roles remain shrouded in mystery. Science acknowledges their existence, but in many ways, they are creatures science has barely begun to explain. The vampire squid. A creature of contradictions, living at extreme depths, the vampire squid is both haunting and puzzling. With its dark, cloak-like webbing, glowing eyes, and the ability to turn itself inside out, it looks like a horror movie creation. Yet, for all its terrifying appearance, it does not hunt aggressively. Instead, it survives by feeding on detritus, dead matter drifting down from the upper ocean. This strange lifestyle is completely unique among cephalopods. Scientists struggle to understand how the vampire squid has adapted so perfectly to low-oxygen, high-pressure environments. Its physiology seems designed for survival in places nearly uninhabitable to other creatures. The vampire squid proves that appearances can be deceiving. It looks like a nightmare, yet its life is quiet, efficient, and unlike any other creature on Earth. The enigmatic oarfish, serpents of the deep. When oarfish wash ashore, people are stunned. These creatures can reach lengths of over 30 feet, with shimmering silver bodies and crimson crests. They swim vertically, giving them an otherworldly presence. Oarfish live in deep waters, rarely seen alive. In Japan, they are considered omens of earthquakes or tsunamis, fueling legends of sea serpents. Science knows little about their behavior or population. Their long, ribbon-like form seems almost too fragile for survival, yet they thrive in the vast depths. Could centuries of sea serpent stories be rooted in oarfish sightings? Or do oarfish merely hint at even stranger serpentine creatures hiding deeper still? The red-eyed beasts of submersible sightings. Submersible pilots often return with strange accounts of glowing red eyes appearing out of the darkness. Some describe massive shadows following their craft, just beyond the range of lights. In 1964, the bathyscaphe Trieste II reported seeing a large, unknown creature in the depths of the Mariana Trench. Details were vague, but the crew insisted it was unlike any known species. These accounts are hard to verify, but they add to the unsettling reality. When we descend into the deep, we are visitors in a realm that belongs to unknown masters. The underwater humanoids. One of the strangest categories of ocean mystery involves alleged sightings of humanoid beings. Russian divers in the 1980s reported encountering aquatic humanoids in Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake. Though details remain sketchy, some divers described beings over 9 feet tall, with silvery suits and helmet-like heads. Similar myths exist in Japanese folklore, which speaks of the ningyo, a fish-like human creature. Skeptics dismiss these as exaggerations or folklore, but for those who believe the ocean might hold beings far more intelligent and complex than fish or squid. Could legends of mermaids and aquatic people have roots in real encounters with undiscovered species? The giant isopods. Living fossils of the deep. Giant isopods are enormous relatives of pill bugs, scuttling along the ocean floor. Growing up to 20 inches long, they look like armored alien creatures. Though they are studied, much about their biology remains puzzling. They can survive years without food, enduring extreme scarcity. Their size is thought to be a product of deep-sea gigantism, a poorly understood phenomenon where some species grow far larger in the abyss than their shallow-water relatives. What other creatures might exhibit such gigantism? If pill bugs can become the size of cats, what might spiders, worms, or other invertebrates become in the unseen deep? The mystery of deep sea. Gigantism, one of the most puzzling mysteries of marine biology, is why so many deep-sea creatures are gigantic compared to their shallow-water counterparts. From giant squids to enormous amphipods, the phenomenon seems widespread. Some scientists suggest cold temperatures and high pressure slow metabolism, allowing creatures to grow larger over longer lifespans. Others argue that limited predation in the deep sea encourages unusual growth. But no single explanation fits all cases. Until we unlock this secret, gigantism itself remains a mystery, one that may hint at creatures even larger, waiting beyond our reach. Alien life on Earth's final frontier. The more we study the deep, the more it resembles an alien world. With crushing pressures, complete darkness, and bizarre life forms, it mirrors what we expect on icy moons like Europa or Enceladus. Many astrobiologists argue that exploring Earth's oceans is our best training ground for discovering alien life elsewhere. If we can barely explain the creatures on our own planet, how prepared are we to recognize life beyond Earth? The deep ocean is not just Earth's last frontier. It is a preview of what we may one day encounter among the stars. Conclusion: the ocean keeps its secrets. From ancient myths of sea serpents to modern recordings of unexplained sounds, the ocean refuses to surrender its mysteries. Each discovery raises more questions than it answers. Are we looking at the last survivors of prehistoric eras, or at evolutionary experiments the surface world has never known? Are some mysteries products of imagination, or are they glimpses into a world we are too limited to explore fully? What is certain is this: the ocean is not empty. It is alive with wonders and terrors we have yet to comprehend. When we peer into the abyss, we are not only looking at strange creatures, we are confronting how little we truly know about the world we call home.